If giving away free hugs on a voluntary basis with consenting adults is wrong, I don't want to be right. Hey everyone, welcome to Freedom Lovers Show. I'm your host, David James Rodriguez, and we are building a voluntary world, one relationship at a time. And I want to invite you to participate in the Free Hug Experience. We're going to be doing this again on Friday, and it's going to be at 6 p.m. Consider doing it in your own area. And basically what we do is we have the signs that says free hugs in a nice public area with a good amount of foot traffic. And you just sit there with your hands out like this. And you look at people and you spread the love. And we did it our first time last week. We got some good positive feedback. People wearing masks gave us hugs. People didn't have masks gave us hugs. People who had masks said, hey, we appreciate what you're doing. And we're just gonna distance ourselves because we're a little bit afraid. And other people just waved also and smiled. There was only a few negative Debbie Downers who said we're going to kill everybody by giving free hugs to consenting adults on a voluntary basis. And I thought that was pretty funny and sad. If you think giving hugs is going to kill people when there's no evidence of a global pandemic, the only evidence that I've seen is government tyranny, lying governors, politicians, vaccine manufacturers and producers, then hugs aren't going to be that bad. So the really cool thing though is that we had like three people on camera. There's some people off camera, but all you need is 2 people. So this is same thing when you go do the free hug experience or go into stores without your mask and let them know you have medical exemptions. It can be a little frightening by yourself, but get one of your freedom friends and do the free hug experience or go shopping with each other. And be at each other's sides. I know it can be very nerve-wracking to face all these hypnotized people who think that government has authority and that there's a global pandemic going on and that the media is actually honest and unbiased source of information. And so as you start to realize that they are biased and they have advertisers and they have agendas, just like the school system. That's why they teach you to worship the flag in the school system by mandate. Wouldn't it be better to cherish your own family values, your own personal beliefs, values, traditions, heritages, these kind of things? So some of these obvious glaring distinctions that let you know that statism is a religion. It's a cult belief that there's a higher authority than yourself over your body. And so now you're seeing mask fines in California at least. And I think it was in Texas or Miami, Florida. But out here in California, if we can get the lighting okay here, I saw in Beverly Hills and in Napa County, Yolo County, Fremont, Glendale. And where do they get the authority to give you a fine? They just made it up. Same authority they have to force your kids to go to school and force you to pay your taxes. If you did not sign a contract with explicit disclosed terms, then you're not bound. That's how government is organized crime. And so with this continuing hoax of a pandemic, and I'm not saying there's no virus, but some people say there's no virus, and if anything, it's just a common flu. And so when they come and approach you and say, hey, you got to give us your ID and we're going to fine you, you'll say, like myself, say I'm walking down the street and they say, hey, you got to have a mask, and I say I have a medical exemption. And they say, well, we're going to fine you, give me your name and date of birth. Why? Don't I have the right to remain silent according to your Bill of Rights? So you say, thank you very much. I invoke my 5th Amendment right to stay silent. Goodbye. And you don't have to be mean about it. You just let them know you're no slave. You're a free human being on the earth, and you're not going to comply. You're not going to participate in their criminal enterprise that's extorting you for breathing the oxygen. You have a right to your life. You have a freedom to breathe, and you don't need permission to do that. So that's what this whole free hug experience is about. Me and my friends, we want to make a difference in the world, and we feel that there's a lot of people who are hurting and in pain. So we're going to go out, we're going to go give free hugs and say, hey, free hugs. And they say, are you from a church? I say, no. So we are human individuals on the earth, and we just think freedom and love and joy is the solution to all this craziness. Like, wow, that's pretty interesting. And they're like, oh, so you're not out here for money or religion? No. Just freedom, man. Is that okay with you? I'm like, okay, give me a hug here. It's really a fun experience. And so if you see a need in the world, don't ask for permission. Go exercise your freedoms. This is what it's all about. The government, they're so criminal that they sell you a right as a privilege. So like your right to travel and a driver's license, your right to work in a business license. And I would recommend the businesses out there, consider revoking your business license, because that's what they're hanging over your head like a little tool of manipulation. And so again, some of my friends, we just made the KTVU local news because we went into a store and we're talking with them, and the lady was video recording, and I'll put the news article in the link here. But the guy said, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my business license. I said, okay, so are you telling me that the government is terrorizing you? He says, yes. I said, okay, that means by definition, you're admitting the government is a terrorist organization, correct? Yes. So that's on video, and I'll share the video with you. So we got to understand, if you use consent in voluntary relationships, that's totally moral, totally acceptable. But if you use coercion, terrorism, you're a bad organization, and you want to get away from that. And that's why we're going to be participating in the Jackalope Freedom Festival out in Arizona. Apparently this is the 9th year they've held this event. No permission, no fees. You just show up and camp, take responsibility for your life, because that's the other side of freedom. Is you want full freedom, then we take full responsibility, and then we look for each other for mutual benefit. So important that we begin to realize that we're here to be free, practice freedom, and as Voltaire said hundreds of years ago, he said, so long as the people do not care for freedom, do not care to exercise their freedom, those who wish to tyrannize will do so. And we're seeing that right now. The tyranny is apparent, and it's up to you and I to go out and give free hugs to people, or go give free bottle of water, or whatever you want to do. What's the difference that you want to make? Don't get permission. Don't act like a slave. Act like a free human, a free man, a free woman, free child, whatever you are, and go again and exercise this, because that is how we're going to build a voluntary world. We're going to do it one relationship at a time. You and me, we're going to make art, we're going to make music, we're going to make dancing, we're going to do dances, and it's going to be great. So document what you're doing. Let the world know you're not going to be controlled by these stupid politicians and these stinky mask mandates and stinky diapers, face diapers. And let's go out and give free hugs on Friday. Start something in your city if you like. I'll put the flyer below, and you can just, put it in make the edits that you deem necessary. So thanks for joining me on the Freedom Lover Show, coming at you from Northern California. We're gonna build a voluntary worship. We are building a voluntary world, one relationship at a time.